My name's Stephen Octolini, from BC. I've been living on a boat for the last 8 years around Victoria, Sydney, Vancouver, Tofino, basically just on the west coast with it. When I was very young, when we moved back to Canada, we had a friend of the family who lived on a sailboat with him and his dog out in Pender Island, and it blew my mind that, a man can live on a boat with a dog. Ever since then, it's always been in the back of my mind to live on a sailboat. Some of the challenges of boat living, the biggest thing I would say is the humidity. Winters can be cold and wet. It's not so glamorous come wintertime living on a boat. Things like doing our laundry. We have to take our laundry out to a facility. There's nothing on board the boat, so everything we do is harder. It's more work to do the same things you would do regularly in a house. Some of the advantages of boat living, I would say, the freedom to explore where you want. Moving day is pretty easy. You just untie a couple dock lines and you move your whole home with you, which for us with our animals, it's pretty convenient way to travel. Some other payoffs would be just the being up close with nature. We see whales all the time, black bears, and the fishing lifestyle for me is excellent around here. I'd have to say my scariest moment on the water was as we came around the south side of Vancouver Island. We collided with some really nasty weather off of what's known as race rocks, and we had some massive currents working against us, as well as like strong headwinds, strong winds bordering gale force winds. The ocean was colliding from every angle, and it was the strangest thing we'd ever seen. So we decided to go through it to see what it was like, and it was like the most violent, scary 2 hours of our lives getting through this nasty patch of weather. Now, my best moment on the water would have been with my girlfriend Sarah after we left Tofino, and as we sailed back, we sailed through a lot of fog coming back towards Victoria, and in that fog we found a pod of killer whales that were also on the same course as us. So we basically followed them like all day. They're just up ahead of us, and it was a pretty cool moment just to be alone with a pod of transient killer whales. In 10 years from now, I see myself hopefully sailing the South Pacific. I would like to eventually see this sailing boat enter the waters of New Zealand and Australia, and that would be my 10-year plan. There is absolutely nothing I miss about living on land.